Plastic, without a doubt, facilitated almost every aspect of our lives. Its durable, lightweight, and other useful properties serve to revolutionize medical devices and electronics, maintain the quality of food or products through packaging, and provide an accessible sanitation option in most developing countries. But even with the convenience that plastic offers, plastic pollution has become one of the most urgent environmental problems that call for immediate action.
The plastic waste problem is exacerbated by the lack of proper waste management. Given its non-biodegradable property, plastic ends up in oceans, posing a significant risk to ecosystems and human health. In fact, the combined effects of the production and incineration of plastic contributes to climate change by releasing 850 million tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere in this year alone. The commonly proposed solutions remain mostly on the individual level, where we're obligated to recycle and normalize the practice of plastic bans. Currently, we've sought alternatives to single-use plastic products such as paper straws, food containers, and reusable grocery bags. However, it should come to our attention that the responsibility of reducing plastic waste isn't spread out equally.
The fundamental problem lies in the fact that major oil and plastic companies adopt flawed marketing tactics to mislead consumers into believing that plastic will be recycled. Corporations are intentionally accentuating the importance of recycling with the ulterior motive of passing on the responsibility of the plastic waste issue to the consumers. In reality, only 9% of plastic actually ends up being recycled. The rest are simply left to pile up in landfills or neglected as litter, which will take up more than 400 years to decompose.
What we propose as one of the most effective solutions that may bring about tangible changes in reducing plastic is to hold major corporations accountable for the excessive use and production of plastic. A way to urge corporations to take action entails systemic change through policy enforcement.
To be specific, governments need to establish a practical set of regulations that aims to moderate the production and waste management of plastic products. As part of the Extended Producer Responsibility Initiative, policies should be grounded on scientific research and incorporate an incentive through subsidies to garner support.
For example, corporations could be penalized for surpassing the standard chemical composition of plastic products considered safe for public use. Public and private investments in building a waste management infrastructure and devising an environmentally friendly design for plastic products could elevate the prospect of effectively mitigating the plastic waste problem. Lastly, a tax reduction could be offered when producers create products that are composed of recycled plastic.
This EPR scheme could incentivize producers to leverage other sustainable forms of plastic instead of creating more waste. Moreover, policies could be designed to encourage companies to operate on a circular economy model. Currently, our society is deeply entrenched in the take and discard culture, which is a linear model of dealing with plastic. Instead of reinforcing the negative cycle of plastic waste mismanagement, a circular economy model could be introduced to make good use of plastic waste as a renewable resource. The damage caused by plastic waste is quite irreversible at this point. It has accumulated at such a high rate that it necessitates the practice of managing our resources sustainably. However, given its ubiquitous utility, plastic has deeply infiltrated our lives, making it extremely difficult to eliminate them altogether. Especially considering that plastic is used for virtually every product we consume, simply deterring consumption won't effectively tackle the underlying cause of the plastic waste issue.
What this calls for is collective action that involves every entity, namely corporations, governments, and individuals. We must take a holistic approach to alter the production, consumption, and disposal of plastic that pertains to slowing down the pace of environmental destruction. We've reached a point where we must prevent future plastic waste issues that may threaten the whole ecosystem before it becomes too late to restore it. Progress is critical at this moment.
All it takes is one step forward in provoking real change to reverse the detrimental trend of environmental degradation.